entrepreneurship. Web 2 enabled free and easy, which we all love. And free and easy enable this mass adoption, not just by the end users, but by the developer community as well. Globally, there are over 26 million developers, and there are 18,000 active Web3 developers. So, what will it take to break through? Uh, with that in mind, Unique Network is building advanced NFT capabilities packaged into white label solutions and comprehensive SDKs that can really be used as plug and play. So we want more developers in thinking about business and product model innovations as opposed to worrying about how they can figure this tech out. So what we're essentially building native to our chain are advanced NFT capabilities like nesting of NFTs. One NFT can own the other NFT, scheduling of transactions, advanced rights management of NFTs, and many more features like that. Because when you think about the assets of real life assets, when they will be represented as tokens, they will need these capabilities. So that's one thing that we are focused on. The other thing is sponsorship of transaction fee. That is a big hurdle. We are paying a ton of money in just gas fee. There are various examples where other side that NFT drop, $170 million burned in gas fee. We don't need that. Free delivery, we all love free delivery. Sponsorship of transaction fee for your end users is the Web3 equivalent. And we are doing all of this with a much lower carbon footprint as well. One NFT mint on Ethereum needs 48 kilograms of carbon dioxide, and that number on Polkadot is 0.03 grams, which is equivalent to the exhale of one human breath. So we need, I mean, we can't do this alone. We need the heroes of developers, from developers and creators to join us. The last thing I want to highlight is democratization of access. Going back to the stratification of NFTs, let's take CryptoPunks for example. CryptoPunks have deviated from the original cultural reference of being renegades. They started to live in blocks. They are supposed to be closer to the people. So, and it's about breaking down that financial barrier to entry. We do that with fractionalization, shared ownership, which is all built into our chain natively. So to demonstrate that, and to get the community to join the punk movement, Unique Network has recently bought a CryptoPunk 3042. We migrated it to the Polkadot ecosystem to demonstrate interoperability. We are fractionalizing it into tens of thousands of pieces and giving it to the community for free. There are millions who associate with the punk movement, yet only 10,000 punks exist. So let's all join the movement. Visit the website unique.network/punk, and you will be able to join the movement, experience this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Can we have a round of applause one more time? And actually, can I bring you back up because we were going to do questions if any folks had questions. Obviously, if you don't want to ask your question out loud, you could do it while we're just hanging out. But if folks have questions, anybody have a question?
I got a question.
All right, we have one question.
You mentioned you gave some numbers.
Here, let's get you the mic while you ask your question.
Sorry. You mentioned some numbers about like the breadth between Ethereum and Polkadot. Are you onboarding people onto Polkadot? Like, are you? Because I'm releasing an NFT project, and are you? Because I'm considering different things, but can you give us like maybe a compelling argument for Polkadot that's maybe along those lines of what you said?
Yes, absolutely. I think sustainability is one of the biggest arguments. And then efficiency and scalability. What we are building today, I mean, NFTs are born on Ethereum, and Ethereum has done a great deal of good for the art community. The POCs we've seen are amazing. But to take that forward and to scale that, I think we need a lot more. And that's all of that is offered by Polkadot as a layer 0 relay chain. And then all the parachains and the projects building on top of it, they offer much more advanced capabilities to creators. And one of our projects, Digital Art for Climate, is powered by artists and creators who are very much motivated by sustainability. And it's a United Nations associated project. They were showcased at COP26, and this will be an annual thing. I'll invite you to join that and feel the energy of the creators who've already joined that movement. That's what I'd say.
And are the nested NFTs part of your platform, or is that?
Yes. So that's a capability that's native to our chain. And you can create nested NFTs as you mint on our chain.
Great questions, great answers. Thank you both so much. Yeah, you all can clap. and DJ, can I get a song real quick, just in between? Did I catch you off guard? I mean, we're on a roof. It's Friday, right? Okay, I just wanted a little song vibe change. We're about to bring up our next speakers. We're just getting started, you all. I love it. I love it. Actually, before we bring them up, I would love if everybody just gave a handshake, a dap, said hello to at least one new person real quick. We got time for that. It could be somebody near you. It could be in the room. One new person. Your excuses, Paperboy told you. It's not gonna be weird. I'm gonna do it too. Hello, how's it going? I'm here meeting people. Just met Max from Italy. Fantastic. We got some great people in the building, so I want to make sure you all meet them. We're going to have plenty more time to talk and speak, and for you to speak to some of our speakers. Paper, yeah. Okay, we also have some drinks in the back. You know what to do with a drink. Okay. Thank you, DJ, for that. So coming up next, we're about to have a panel with two speakers. We're gonna have Sandeep Kumar. Sandeep has over 15 years of experience and got into crypto in 2014. Previously, she's worked at Reach Platform, Circle, and as a consultant at various digital asset startups, including investment banking. Currently, Sandeep is a partner of the New York City Real Estate Coin, which is a traditional fund using blockchain technology to tokenize the fund. This is fantastic. The fully regulated fund's tokens will be available on secondary markets. Okay, are y'all ready? If y'all ready, make some noise for me one more time. Perfect. So you just heard about Sandeep, who will be coming up, and we also have Craig Bromberg, the founder and CEO of Homesy Social Real Estate. Craig is an experienced strategic marketing and business development executive, making go-to-market strategies come to life, brand publishing pioneer, and the builder of data-driven brand content studios across paid, owned, and earned channels. Homesy is a social real estate for your home, a multiplayer digital platform reinventing home discovery for anyone with a roof over their heads. Everyone has a real estate story, whether you're buying, selling, or renting, or just curious. And we're about to hear about Homesy right now from Craig, and we're gonna hear from Sandeep as well. You all excited? All right, make some noise for them as they come up right now. Hello. Check, check.
Your turn. You're gonna ask us questions, or
Would you like me to?
Yeah.
You prefer? Okay. Sure. Okay, so I'm gonna be asking questions. Favorite, yeah, which is perfect. So you guys can ask questions through me, or I will ask questions. And to kick it off, I would love to hear about what you all are, because this is a very interesting time in the crypto, NFT, blockchain, Web3 market. And so I'm curious about what had you all excited about this space when you first came in, and what has you excited right now at this point, and if that thing that had you excited when you came in still is sparking that interest now.
I'll take that. Hello everyone, I'm Sandeep, and I got into crypto back in 2014. I started my first job in 2008 as a millennial, obviously, during recession. Oh, this is mine. Maybe I need to, okay, a little closer, yeah. Okay. So I was, being a financial nerd, I was just putting my head down and reading all about financial subprime crash. So 2014, first time I heard about Bitcoin, which made a lot of sense. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to explore about it. So yeah, that was, like now that feels like a century. And I really felt like Bitcoin will be an next asset class, and it will be a future of finance. So I wasn't wrong about it, and that's when I started even an initiative, Miss Bitcoin, which was educating women about crypto, and especially telling like how Bitcoin will be an asset class and they should add in their portfolio. And at that time, Bitcoin was like $150, so I think I wasn't wrong about that. So that's how I started. And after that, I wrote some white papers. One was women.io, and that was actually in top 25 at Sir Richard Branson Nectar Island Tech Challenge. And then I joined Circle, so USDC, which is a unicorn. That USDC is one of the most successful stable coins. So when I was at Circle, we launched USDC. So now after that, I was at David Field & Co. investment bank doing due diligence on crypto assets. So Avalanche, Cosmos, like all these projects were on my table when I was there. Recently, I just quit my job 10 days ago. I was I was head of DeFi at Reach Platform. So what was like to me so interesting about decentralized finance, and I think that's where now we talk about NFTs and like how decentralized finance is so powerful. So I really like the technology, but I do see that the technology is very nascent. It has a lot of potential. The scalability is still an issue. I worked only there for 5 months, and now I am a partner and co-founder of New York City Real Estate Point. And actually, this fund was something we were working from last 4 or 5 years, and it was more like the market wasn't ready. So my partners in this fund, they're private equity guys. One of my partners, he has managed Roosevelt Family Fund. Roosevelt was our president, so the fund was like $4 billion. So he is, he and I are working together. So very, very like elite team. And the reason we just chose like this is the perfect time. So, I see like in this room, all of us are millennial and Gen Z, right? And in next 10 years, the biggest transfer of money is going to happen from baby boomers to millennial and Gen Z. That is $68 trillion, not billion, but $1 trillion. Uh, so looking at that data, so the way baby boomers invested, that was all centralized finance. The products that time were very different. Mutual funds, insurance, everything they invested in, their opportunities were very different. For us, the opportunities are very different. The way we are investing now, right? It's all crypto, NFTs. So something that can never be ignored is the trend. You can never ignore the trend. And one thing that really worries me now with this crash, right? Most of the tokens out there, assets are out there, are just based on speculation, which is a loss for an investor, right? We just know the story of Luna, Celsius, BlockFi, 3AC. They were overly leveraged, and we see that, right? So to me, I do see there's a desperate need to create good product for investors like us, for our generation, so that we do not lose the money that has been, like gonna be transferred from our parents. So one of the example is if I inherit a prime portfolio from my parents, and I kind of like, I'm not gonna invest the way they invested. You just put that into some speculative asset, and that asset goes to like zero or just drops down. You will never able to forgive yourself, right? So something that is really needed is means the stability, good product, and that's what New York City Real Estate Coin is. It is a combination of traditional finance. It is a very traditional fund, fully regulated, security token. So we are actually tokenizing the fund using blockchain technology and then creating a secondary market. So first, our buyers will be institutional and high net worth individual, but they will have a leverage to create a secondary market, then it will be available to all the retailers. So that's something I'm super, super excited about. So sorry, it was a very long answer. But to me, I think the opportunity in front of us is so big, especially this generational wealth that's transferring like from our parents, baby boomers to us. But how do we create new wealth? We create good wealth, products in the market that changes our life. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
That was great. Give it up for her. Yes. And I definitely have some follow-up questions for you on that, but I want to hear the same question from Craig. What had you excited, when you first moved into the space, and what has you excited right now?
So my background is quite different in some ways. I didn't start as a technologist. I started in the media business, and I recognized early on that media was increasingly corrupt and putting money in the hands of the advertising agencies, and that the creators in the media economy were really not being fairly compensated for their work, which was becoming increasingly performance oriented. So I worked in a stream of big media companies from Time to Disney, Bertelsmann, Ziff, and then Samsung and Citibank, where I started thinking for the first time about real estate. And while I was at Citibank, Citi Mortgage, I had the unfortunate experience of they told me when I was first hired that their mortgage assets were from mortgage assets from maybe an Africa. It was only about my that I learned that there was something. And when 15 months I got hired to work at AOL Real Estate as the editor-in-chief. And I was there for about a week. And my boss ever wanted was to push people into listings. When I looked at the listings product, I realized that all the listings which came from the multiple listing services, the MLSs, were just boring. And there was really no reason for people to look at listings unless they wanted to buy or sell a house. Or they were. And I immediately said, well, if you have this database of housing, why can't people use it to actually communicate with one another? Well, there are lots of reasons. And most of the reasons have to do with that most of the listings that are aggregated by Zillow come from the MLS itself. And the MLS is a byproduct of the National Association of Realtors. So when we really think about real estate, we're looking at pieces of digital property that exist both in real life and in these listing formats. One of the things that immediately struck me was if you could get people to speak to one another about their needs, about their assets, what would that conversation be like? How could we actually foster? What would it do for you? What would it open up? Because the entire system for the National Association of Realtors and MLS is all about the buying and selling of real estate. Those listings fundamentally are part of an obligatory compensation scheme between brokers. So what if you could not exclude brokers from the conversation, but actually just help people understand what the real value of homes is by talking to them? And that idea I had in 2009, and I started to really think more and more. And for 10 years, I watched the real estate space and thought, you know what? Nobody is tackling this. And in about 2017, 2018, I came across Steve. And I met the CEO of Steve. And the idea of decentralizing media assets by creating a token that was related to those media assets was really interesting. Steve unfortunately imploded. There was a 51% takeover, all kinds of craziness. And I went on to do stablecoin. It failed, nothing went so. Began to really think about, well, how would we do this in this situation? And how could we actually help consumers? What would be the value of owning this data? And what I began to realize was that even though crypto was focused on creating a trustless economy, a problematic economy, what was actually needed in the real estate space was a way to create trust. And so the merger of those two ideas is what began to really get me focusing on homes. And we actually initially called it Blockhouse, but I was under the impression, I still am, that the idea of actually creating something that's based around rewards as opposed to trust and communication was, rewards were secondary. They had to be secondary because the real value is in helping people make better real estate decisions for themselves through creating essentially what we now call a Web 2 economy. But once you take the step and say, how can we have ownership in that economy? That's when we began to say, so how do we do that? And we recognize we're going to create a digital asset for every home. So how do we do that? We do that not through our own auspices, but rather by getting consumers or giving them the tools to actually start to say, hey, I can actually create a digital version of my home. And how do we do that? Most homes, most stories that people tell about their homes, I talk about my house, I talk about the rickety staircase and the small bedrooms, not very good things, but it's a home. And I tell my story through my rooms. And so when you begin to tell your story through your rooms, what you can do is actually create a digital version of your home. And every room is a constituent part of it. It's almost like a capsule component or a nesting piece. So now we have digital assets of your home and digital assets of your rooms. And they contribute to a kind of storytelling capability. It's really a hybrid between the Web 2 experience and the Web 3 experience, where the ownership is invested in an actual digital currency, digital object. In this case, our digital object is going to be something like a key. We call it a key, but it's probably an NFT. and it will exist on its own blockchain called Helios, and blockchains will utilize and have an inter-blockchain experience for it, and very similar to what Polkadot is. So OpenSea is almost about to launch. We've been in 20 months. We've been bootstrapping the entire operation. We have an application that actually does this structured storytelling on all your rooms and helps you understand the value of your home and communicate to other buyers. So if you're a buyer, you can actually create a card of your rooms and give it to other people on other platforms. And if you're a seller, you can use the storytelling capability to do more than what a listing agent would do. Our aim is to put brokers out of business. We think that it's I think you used the word multiplayer when you were introducing. It's a multiplayer experience, but we think that the value of what brokers can bring to the table is a lot different than the value that they've been assigned by the National Association of Realtors. And our objective is actually to create or develop a creative economy for people who might have once been agents and now have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to help somebody help them profile their home. And we're going to give users the opportunity to actually create profiles of their home room by room and share them to create this trustless market.
That sounds fantastic. Now, because of time, I'm gonna do it like this. We're gonna do 2 more questions, and how we'll do it is I'll ask a question, and then I'll let someone from the crowd ask a question as well, and you all can answer whichever you fancy, or maybe both. So I'll go first. My question is, well, I'll let you all go first. Does anybody here have a question for our panelists here? Okay, yes. Yes, come on up. Tell us your question.
Hi, so I was just interested, as someone that's been working in the real estate industry, I wanted to know, essentially there's been a lot of, unused spaces, and I feel like there's a bit of a, you probably know a little bit more than I do, but in terms of the supply and demand, I feel like there's been more supply of unused real estate spaces than there is. I think there definitely is a high demand, but how are you going to make use of unused real estate spaces, particularly for commercial use?
Perfect. And before you answer that question, my question relates to that. Thank you for that. We can give a hand clap for our question asker here. And my question relates to that. We're here in New York City, all of this beautiful real estate, but after the pandemic, and you mentioned millennials and Gen Z, and we have so many things going on with the housing crisis that I could ask 50 questions about that alone. So what all do you all feel like your platforms help to do to maybe address these issues, or ways that you want to interface with the community on that?
So HomeSeat is specifically not about commercial real estate. We are focused entirely on residential real estate. And yes, it's true, there's a dramatic transformation in commercial real estate and the notion of what the office is and how people use offices. But what I want to focus on is actually not that commercial problem. Commercial landlords will have to face that problem with innovation. Adam Newman, before he was picked out of WeWork, had a couple of interesting ideas about it. That's not what I'm about. What I'm interested in is why it's so difficult to buy a home. We live in a country where real estate commissions are the highest in the world. Home affordability is at an absolute minimum. The amount of tension and discrimination in the marketplace that's pushed Black and brown people since 1953 into marginalized redline neighborhoods, and with no transparency about their home or the home data is something that we can actually work on and solve. HomeSeat's solution to that problem is by creating, as our users create data about their rooms, they're creating a new kind of data that's never existed before, which is actually personal home data. And so suddenly we have a tool that we can use to actually bring people into talking about and exchanging information on a one-to-one basis and sharing that information without the intercession of somebody who's trying to sell you something. And so that capability changes the name of the game. It totally transforms what we think about real estate today. Real estate today is 100% about the transaction. The two attacks on transactional real estate are for sale by owner, which is at 7% of the entire market, and iBuying, which is also at 7%. That's 15% of the market. iBuying strips user agency away from the owner, right? The company, Redfin, OpenDoor, Zillow got kicked, got tested. Those companies, they're actually acquiring real estate and giving you a price slightly lower than market rate, and then they sell that property themselves. So there's no messing around with agents at all. For sale by owner obviously excludes the whole idea of brokerage. What we want to do is actually give buying power to consumers directly to one another by creating trust in the market through data. And that data it actually can become a digital asset as well. So we can create a parallel economy between the data that they can create on the platform and the actual home. With that, we help people develop ownership opportunities in digital terms that apply to their actual homes as well. And people who have never had a chance to actually step onto the wealth creation market, because for most people, their home is the most important way they suddenly now they have an opportunity to do that without going into a transaction immediately. 24/7, not related to their buying or selling. They've got actual opportunity to grow their asset online with every change they make to their life. So radically different perspective than commercial real estate.
You got the idea. Yeah, clapping. I like that. You do you remember the question or okay?
Like maybe I'll answer the next question.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so here, how many of you have investments in crypto? Like, do you buy or sell cryptocurrencies?
Show of hands.
Can you show your hands? Or you invest into an NFTs or like, yeah. Okay, so right now we know that in cryptocurrency, this industry is not regulated, and most of these assets are nothing but speculation, right? So New York City real estate coin, actually, it's not about like, we say, oh, it's maybe a real estate thing, that question you asked. Actually, that has nothing to do with New York City real estate coin. New York City real estate coin is a very traditional fund. It's just like the way you invest into REIT or you invest into mutual fund, and then you get dividend, right? The thing is, investing into New York City real estate coin, it's backed by real estate as a collateral. So it is just not a speculation. It is a real product that is fully regulated. So whatever penny you will invest into it, that's fully regulated and safe. So something like losing money for an investor won't be, like an issue. I mean, like there's no risk of losing money. So that's like, I'm just gonna be short just because we have less time. So basically, it is a security token. It is not a speculative token.
So I think that's an important point. And I think there are interesting connections and disconnections between what we're trying to do. For me, instead of trying to, a lot of what I'm interested in is decentralizing the information that brokers and agents and the National Association of Realtors have held on. And I think that, from my perspective, even though it's not a speculative entity, that broker is not a speculative entity, it's purely a fundamental investment instrument. I think with homes, especially residential homes, you're mostly focused on commercial again. But with residential homes, we have to resist the tide of financialization because it's so important to establish home affordability. Home affordability is just an absolute minimum, worldwide actually. But there's a cost of living crisis, and it takes place most significantly around our homes. And if we don't find ways to solve that, we're going to wind up with greater and greater disenfranchisement from been part of this democratization. So we're different places about this, but I think it's important to point out the forces of centralization and the forces of decentralization.
Can I have a round of applause for our panelists again? Craig and Sandeep. And listen, they will be here for a little bit longer tonight, so feel free, if you didn't get a chance to ask a question, feel free to do that here. And yeah, let them know your ideas. Hey, DJ. Paper, yeah. Can you drop something for us? Yes, so we're gonna take a second to break, and for you to get back to those conversations that you were having, we have a few more speakers coming, so make sure you hang out. We still have Nana over there doing a live digital NFT for you. Make sure you check her out at Puffy Gator on Instagram. And yeah, make sure you check in with our speakers and how you can follow them. We're also live in the metaverse right now in voxels, formerly crypto voxels. We're live in the metaverse in voxels in the one verse mini space. RAP.HIPHOP space, yes. The RAP.HIPHOP space. So if you go to RAP.HIPHOP, you can hop in the metaverse and check out our stream. All right, DJ, you can turn that up for me.
They watch it and they listen to everything that's going on.
That's insane. My friend is in there right now. He just added that while we're sitting talking. Take it right here. It's very cool.
You got another camera set up. Where's the camera?
Right here. It's a little bit of a delay.
That is.
You put it behind me.
Yeah, everybody that come in here, they just go to this website. Get a character. And they get officials when they get in there too. That's for every project.
Nah, so every piece of clothing, like if you want to wear some gloves, that's an NFT. If you want a hat, that's an NFT. So if you put your whole body on, you need a whole bunch of NFTs. It's a nice spot though, right? It's a nice little You can go in here on your phone. So we're streaming live here in the metaverse. So like, this is us right here. Like, yeah, so we're in the metaverse here. So if you go on your phone and go to RAP.HIPHOP, should work. Go down a little bit. Go down. Yeah. So that's the video, but if you go down further, and you hit that enter the hip hop metaverse, then you're in here with us. So like they can hear everything in here. Like the people that's not here with us are in there and listening to other things.
So this is all the metaverse is on. I
mean, there's lots of different metaverses. So
yeah.
I'm launching a project called the Hip Hop Metaverse.
Nice.
So I'm pretty much making. Yeah. That's a
you got a card or anything?
I'm beginning to thank you.
Yeah.
774-277-9202. Send me a text and put your name in it. Send me a text. I'll send it out to you. MINTL. MENGAL. Yeah. Stamina. STAMINA. Yeah. I work with lots of artists and like artists together. Like one thing is the sound.
So check it out, the hip hop metaverse. Wow. Yeah.
We're live in here right now, so that's like we're live. Other people in here just in the metaverse watching party with us.
You got all these other things happening also. You got all these other things happening also.
These other people in here.
This is okay, in here.
Each one of these is another person.
Okay, so they kind of move it around.
Yeah, so they can. This video.
But they don't look like they're doing those movements. You're making that happen.
I'm not doing that. I'm controlling this guy. Everybody else got another. If you go on your phone, you can come in here with your character.
Oh, okay, cool.
RAP.HIPHOP, right?
Hip-hop metaverse.
Okay.
We're streaming live right now.
Oh, okay.
But it's also in the metaverse, so it's a bunch of people in here just like listening and watching, you know, So this is my NFT project that I'm putting together. I'm turning hip-hop artists into Pokemon trading cards.
Oh, okay.
Tokenized all the rappers.
Oh, like these guys.
There's a Paperboy right there. His card.
Okay.
And yeah, we're gonna make it like a fantasy football kind of situation, you know?
Okay. Nice. What's it built on?
Well, this is CryptoVox. This is an Ethereum-based metaverse. So Voxels is a metaverse that already exists. Our NFT project, we're just about to launch. We're going to use the Voxels metaverse to host our metaverse.
Separate from Box?
Yeah, so far, like this, it's actually, that's been the plan, but the more deeper I go into it, the kind of cooler the integration with Voxels kind of becoming too. So, I'm gonna let it grow out, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. The first thing I did was like, I gotta build my own metaverse, and then that was a long roadmap. But then as I started integrating with Voxels, I've been able to check off a lot of things I was already gonna do, but been using their integration. Yeah. So far it's going great.
Who's been doing the coding? Is that you?
Right now I'm coding the website, but as far as like the smart contracts and stuff, I'm probably gonna start on some of them, but the more complex stuff is probably going to help. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna develop, but the plan is for me to be able to stay in creative control.
How long have you been doing this?
This project has started 22 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I started my first. I started LyricOlympics.com. Okay. The Lyric Olympics to get a cease and desist. And I changed it to Hip-Hop Database.
Okay.
And then Hip-Hop Database got so big that it exploded on me. It was so cloud because I had like millions of visitors. I never really launched it. That was about over a decade ago. Right. So I still got the domain that I've been acquired for real estate and more stuff. So now we launched the database as a metaverse. To do everything I did back then, because I did it back then, I had top search engine rankings for everything. Because I used my code to pull it out. And so I'm gonna do it all again, but now connect it over the blockchain.
That's cool. That's amazing. You've been doing this for so long. And different platforms. And now you've been on like all of the latest platforms, right?
I've got one, Paperboy.
My grandfather.
So I started managing accounts in 2012 or 2011. I've been this for a decade. But I also manage like 50 different artists. So the website thing got me to a point where I had all of these traffic, but I didn't really know how to apply it. And then I started like locally working with artists. So I started hundreds of shows. I've managed over 50 artists. So I know artists and I know the technology. So I'm at this unique place where I can really like work.
Time as well.
So this is like my life's work. It's like my magnum opus. It's all coming together right now.
That's cool.
I'm really excited.
That's cool. Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for listening.
Oh yeah, Alex. Good to meet you.
Feel free to follow the project.
Okay.
Slap Down Hip Hop. We're going to launch the NFT. Probably going to launch the NFT right after this. And then for each artist, I'm gonna release 100 different NFTs. So for like, I'm gonna do myself first. And so this is my NFT, but I'm going on tour. So this is the tour right here. We call it the Metaverse tour. So I got like 9 different cities I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go there and rap. And then I'm also gonna be on the Metaverse. But yeah, it's gonna be in here and in person. But I'm gonna perform like it's a rap show. But at the same time, I'm gonna introduce my own turn them all into trading cards, go city to city, and start supporting the rap community, connecting it with the database, growing it all. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. But it's all coming together. Like last night, Nas Chain Clan had a show. You know, but it's all crypto. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to, like, in my theory, going to push the culture ahead because I can help onboard a lot of black people, a lot of people in That's cool. Well, congrats on getting to this point. Thank you. Y'all just think you in crypto or you just?
I'm just learning about the space. Yeah, so I've been attending the event this week. I do CFD services for tech companies. For like fintech. Right.
Okay, so this is your
So like, and now I'm trying to understand more about crypto world and then this whole week's been NFT land, right? NFT was kind of, but it's its own like subculture within it's so different than like all the others.
I can take you opening next time.
I know, I mean it's like obviously it's built on blockchain. It's either built on like Ethereum or it's built on like one of the others, but it's good to know it. But it's almost like a deal, like a project or something.
It is because it allows a different level of novice to come in to expert level. Whereas if you release a coin, you're releasing a coin at a novice level, it can get real shady. It might be a bad situation. But with the NFTs, if you're a novice, it can work out great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's but I just mean like the meme space is similar to the NFT space. It's actually a lot easier.
I was invited to another NFT party.
Oh yeah. Tyrone, it's good meeting you. Thank you for I didn't bring anything.
I'm trying to be CFO for some rappers, trying to make it so they're not starving artists, but then they have a way to kind of have
loyalty is already built in.
going on there?
This is right now. This is my NFT project that I'm launching.
Okay.
But we're in the metaverse right now, so you can see this is like we're live. Yeah, you can use Oculus for this if you want. Yeah, but like, see that shit right there.
Where? Oh shit! Yeah.
And so all these other people that's in here, they're in other places in the world, just in here in the metaverse, watching our thing right now. You know what I'm saying? And so like, you can go on your phone right now. If you go to RAP.HIPHOP, and if you go there, you can click a button and you have a character inside the metaverse with us.
All right. I had a friend that brought me here, frankly.
Yeah,
it was a party.
There you go. Well, this is an NFT party. So it's people that are partying with us that's not even here. It's basically the whole thing. They can hear us. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, they can hear right here. Like, you know, this mic right here.
That's the boss.
Yeah.
And the boss dude right there.
There you go. And then it's a whole neighborhood outside of, like, once you go outside, the whole world out here.
Out here.
Yeah.
Not out here.
Yeah, the whole world out there and here. See, this is my neighbor, see, and they looking over. So I can go.
The metaverse thing.
Yeah, the metaverse.
That's your next door then.
That's my next thing. That's our next thing. We got waterfront property. You gotta come in here and just explore.
And that's what you're doing. Like, this could be my avatar here.
You go in your phone, that's your phone. And you can come sign the gift book. You get free giveaways and stuff like that.
All this money. All these people here, I'm looking at myself on the big screen. They're looking at my like big fucking belly right now.
They're seeing exactly what we see right here.
Someone on a screen, whether it's an Oculus or
they in here watching it. They can hear it on and look at it. What's up? You know what I'm saying? We live.
You know what, baby? On I got an Oculus. Months ago, trying to understand it. All I did was like play video games for the first time. I got friends on there too, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what it's about. You get
Population 1, do you know that game? It's like you run around, it's like Fortnite, you know, you like shoot people, you got teams. I know people, like, it's weird.
The difference between like this and Fortnite is the skins about Fortnite. This is like the trial skin. You know what I'm saying? But this, when you buy them, you really own
That's an NFT.
Right. So look at him. You see him?
Yeah.
He got a whole outfit on. He looks all different. And then look at me. He got NFTs on.
That's you?
But it's my character. That's me too. But it's my character right here.
Right. You got a cool skin too. You got like, you ready for the Arctic?
Nah, that's just a picture. This is my character right here, so I don't have any clothes on.
Oh, so that's not an NFT. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm very intrigued by all that. So how do I like
Hip-hop metaverse. You can come in here on your phone. If you go to RAP.HIPHOP, just go to the website, RAP.HIPHOP, and then you can click in. And like right now we're streaming live, so everybody in the metaverse can like see us and hear us right now. And so it's all these are different people in here. So come and check it out.
Is the metaverse voxels?
Yeah, this is Voxels. But this project is RAP.HIPHOP. No problem.
What's that?
So I have a cryptocurrency called JoinCoin. And so it's on Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon. So you can buy the cryptocurrencies out of here. And so we're streaming live. This picture was taken right here, you know.
So do you do a lot of, what's your sales? Have you sold any?
We just launched and everything, so the NFTs are not released. The coin I haven't started marketing it, honestly. Like I'm just really building a project out more so than trying to like get customers. And so we got some holders, but they're really about like my community and my friends who are holding it. But like right now we're building. So JoinCoin is the community. And then this project right here is RAP.HIPHOP. So it's two different projects. It'll be two different coins. And so this one is we're basically turning rappers into like Pokemon. And so we're trying to take every rapper and producer in the world, and they opt in and they become trading cards. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I got lots of people. That's Paperboy over there.
Does the trading card give access to their content?
So it's going to give access. So you saw how we were just in the metaverse right here, right? Every artist is going to have their own metaverse, okay? And so it's going to give access to it's going to, basically by having a card, it's a playable card. So this is going to be like a fantasy. You ever heard of fantasy football? So you make a team. So with this, you'll make a team with your rappers, and you play it like that. So you'll stake your NFT, and then as your team does well or whatever, you'll get rewarded with coins or basically more NFTs and things like that.
But the NFT doesn't actually give you like exclusive access to any content or like what's the incentive?
Yes.
Okay.
So each artist basically is opting in and will have their own internal community within this thing. You know what I'm saying? And so like people
and
one
then
of the artists.
they want their metaverse.
Right. They can do what they want in their own metaverse, but I'm going to be connecting them all like the NBA. So each rapper is like their own LeBron James, but I'm making the NBA so that each of their things are together. So it's like if let's say you got 5 cards to make your team, instead of one of them having a metaverse you have access to, they all have metaverses that you have access to, and you join those teams, and it's like joining like your college football team or whatever, because now you're part of that team, but y'all are collaborating and competing with other artists in the metaverse as they create music or as they compete against each other. And so in that whole process is gamified by you having a card, you are participatory in that whole process. So you get access, and you'll also be able to get rewards. And you also have governance, because it's going to be an overall charity, like a hip-hop charity. Each artist will have some say in the stuff, and so each person will have some governance in the overall charity.
Are you live? Are you live now?
Yes, this is us live right now. Oh, okay. You mean so it's multiple projects. So JoinCoin, this is live. It's on Ethereum, Binance, Polygon, and Phantom. And so that coin is out, but it's like the core community project. Basically, the main stuff that I'm launching is going to be launching other projects. So I'm launching this project for RAP.HIPHOP. Then we're making a project with Paperboy Friends, and then we're going to kind of keep going through helping the artists that are part of this community get onboarded into crypto and move. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, Kane Mayfield, I got him in the NFTs around this time last year. Now he's one of the biggest rappers in the space. Like you'll see this guy right here, he's wearing Kane Mayfield clothes. So that's Kane Mayfield clothes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's just like there's a whole new model community, all that.
sense. When you have like a card or something, I would take my I live in London. My phone is English and it's in.
Do you have Instagram?
Yeah. Yeah, if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. I work for a venture and it's a layer one with blockchain protocol. So we like more because we know we're the metaverse, that's our thing. The metaverse is so key across the storage and capacity because we use cloud computing. We're like the AWS of Web3. So we are.
You all know exactly how I want to talk
about. We're super interested and we're doing exactly what we're doing. So
that's where. So I started building apps 20 years ago, and like eventually I was getting ahead of the hip-hop website, and like I was getting millions of visitors a year, like 2005. You know what I'm saying? It was before cloud computing, so it got so big that it crashed. And so this is.
Right? Like that's so important. And it's also like everything centralized. It's like we're not interested. We don't want to be that. We just want to build that. So we're looking for partnerships.
Well, this is I want to launch the hip hop metaverse. Right now, we're not on anything. We're not glued to anything. We're really.
Have a foundation, like if you're looking for funding. Anyway, I think let's talk because I think it could be fortuitous. Like let's have a conversation.
You tell me when to contact you, and I'm gonna make a note to contact you.
When I get my phone, like when I get alive and no Wi-Fi, I'll find you. When I do, I'll call you back, and I'll shoot you the appropriate information. But it's kudos.org if you want to. Yeah, you do that. It's kudos.org if you want to like look us up. I'm not a tech person, I'm an event person, but I love the company. I really work carbon neutral. Sustainability is really important. We just started working with Play the Crowd.
Play the Crowd.
And they're like, Play the Crowd. But they're basically like, what they say, metaverse services. They're like, you don't need that. I don't think you got your own thing. They're amazing. Check them out. They're based out of Atlanta. They're also like, you guys are, they're like so exciting and innovative what they're doing, you know? We just started talking to them because again, the whole point is like metaverse, come build with us. And we're not precious, like you're already working with Polygon, like we'll partner with Polygon. Marketing as well. Yeah, that's the thing, not precious, like
we want to do this. That's why we're here.
I love cupcakes.
So that's part of how I'm going to launch this, right? So right now, we're talking to people who I have real connections with, but I know thousands of artists, so I'm going to build the first 1,000 cards out of people that I know. But I got like 50 that have built out hip hop. So the artists that I've signed specifically plugging in are all of the centers around so that you'll be able to come to the site and every single I started managing him like 10 years ago, but like I managed over different things, but I'll take it from the point like when I first started managing him, one of my best friends was like, but now, you know, like now it's to the point where like organically but after that nobody to down there recognizing me. I'm now going to apply this across the board because of the long engineers. Most people don't have websites, they're going to have NFT. I can take somebody who has even good Now they can now take their own thing to the whole nother level.
Check. Paper, yeah. Hello, everybody having a good time so far? I'll take that non-answer as a paper, yeah. Shout out to our DJ, our musicians holding it down. Not doing the digital art. We're also in the RAP.HIPHOP Voxels Metaverse. Big salute to all of our speakers that have already spoken. And I'm about to bring up our next one to the stage right now. And some live guitar going on as well. I love it. Hello. So, can I get everybody's attention real quick? Because we're about to do something. I'm going to put you all in the history books right now. The Web3 history books. We're about to be in the Web3 history books. Are you ready? We're about to do a group photo. Is that cool? You want to be in the photo too? All right, perfect. All right, so if you want to be in our group photo, which I'm kind of going to peer pressure everyone to be in it, come stand over here in this area. Come stand in this area. You want to be in the photo. We're going to take the photo right before we bring up our next speaker to the stage. So come on. Yeah, this is just like kindergarten when you do the group photo, class picture. Come on. Oh, yeah. Okay. We got some cool people in the back. They don't want to be. All right, here we go. Yeah. Come on, right? Right? All right. Now, anybody else hop in our photo? Nana, yes. Come on, hop in. Imani, yes. Come on, hop in the photo. We're having our group photo right now. Yes. I'm asking everybody to be in it. If you want a personal invite for me to be in the photo, I will do that. Yes, you all both look great. Come on, come on. No. Oh, that's your cousin. Oh, you gotta be in the photo. Come on, guys. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, we're all doing it. Everybody's doing it. All the cool kids in the photo. All right. It's a group photo. Now, last chance. Is anybody else going to be in our group photo? DJ, can we get a song just to get all of our photo participants rocking a little bit? All right, are we ready? Y'all look good. Everybody in the back, same way Timmy goes. If you're in the front, maybe crop down a little bit. Can I ask you to take a? Thank you. Make sure the flash is on. Okay. Yeah. All right. If you're in the front, bend down a little bit. On the count of 3. Everybody say NFTs. 1, 2, 3. NFTs. Hey. Yeah, take a drop. Do we need this light in front of us? Would that help? Uh-oh. Look at my photographer skills. Watch the computers. I want to get all y'all pretty faces and outfits. You get the photo? Can y'all make some noise for yourself one time? We're gonna make sure y'all get that. Looking great. Looking great. Thank you all for coming in our group photo. I'm excited to bring up our next speaker to the stage right now. Amazing. Okay, we're bringing our next speaker up to the stage and bring this light right through. Can somebody help me with this light? Who here believes in a futuristic education? Perfect. Somebody does. Well, if you don't, perfect, because the next speaker we have is going to talk to you all about that. They are the host of Crypto Mondays Global, NFT OG. Everybody, can I get a round of applause for Dr. Josh Rain here with us today? Let me get a round of applause. Come on, everybody. And actually, if I could get you all, you're looking good, by the way. I like that. Yes. Okay. If I could get you all just to come on this side for me, so we have some space for Dr. Josh, unless you want to have folks behind you, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah. It's all good. Well, then, yeah, well, I'll let you take the floor this way, and yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paperboy Prince. I'm a big fan. You know, especially since you like to talk about an issue that I'm very passionate about, which is education. Anybody know that song by Paperboy Prince, Futuristic Education? Woo! Right? He said we don't need to live in an education of the past. We need an education of the future. An education where students are empowered, and an education that's for free, where no people don't have student debt. Now, I know that everybody here is interested in crypto and NFTs and making money. I got into NFTs in 2018 when nobody knew what it was about. And I was building the first platform. I got the first patent on it and everything like that. And what I've seen happen in the NFT space is amazing. And I've seen multi-generational people from all walks of life, everything like that. And you might think this t-shirt that I'm wearing is an NFT even, but it's not. But it is a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind made by one of the hosts of this party, Imani Jones, who's a local fashion designer. Shout out to Imani. Shout out to her and to the organizers of this amazing event who could get Paperboy Prince and some of these other speakers. So you're going to see, and my talk's going to be a little bit different today. I want to ask everybody a question. I got some swag. People be giving me swag the whole time. I'm VP at NFT NYC. Everybody wants to talk to me and give me some swag. But I'm a professor, so I'll just have a quiz and I'll give away a couple of awards. All right. Okay, first question. What's a $1.7 trillion market in the United States that nobody's paying attention to? Education. Student debt. $1.7 trillion. 46 million Americans in student debt, an average of $38,000 or more. But it seems like nobody here knows about it. Okay, let's just have a raise of hand. Who here knows somebody who has had student debt or has student debt right now? Oh, wow. Looks like everybody, or almost everybody. Yeah? He said they ain't never getting his money. Well, they getting everybody else's. Oh, they're going to give you money. I'll tell you how they're going to get the money. Because if they cancel student debt, if they cancel, like a lot of people are talking about, that's going to be 5 to 7% increase in inflation. Who wants some more inflation? Right? To pay some people's student debt, right? And then the other way, you got people that after 12 years after graduation, only 30% of people pay off their student debt, and they're still paying the government. Who thinks we need a new solution? And I'm talking about crypto solution to student debt. All right? And let me tell you guys something. I got a big reveal for you tonight. A big reveal for you tonight. All right. The project that I'm working on is called Get Smart, right? Because I want to onboard a lot of people to education. And what it is a token. And you buy the token, and then we put that token collectively into a staking pool. All right. If I'm losing you, the staking pool is kind of like an investment pool, but it's for crypto. And we then invest in different DeFi and cryptos, and I got some very, very good investors on my team. I'm the host of Crypto Mondays Global. I go around the world for Crypto Mondays. We have Crypto Mondays in 70 different cities around the world. In Manhattan every single week, in Brooklyn every single week, in Paris, in London. We got the host of Crypto Mondays London right here, Ms. Caitlin, right now. All right, so they're all over the world. So I got a lot of people in crypto that are interested. So these people invest our token into the markets and get the money back. But guess what? The money doesn't come directly back to the token holders. You get to hold the token, but we take the interest, which is called the token rewards, and we cash that out. And we cash that out, and it goes in my pocket.
No way.
No, that's what other people do. But like, I'm a professor. This is nonprofit interest here. So the token could go up. The value goes up the more people buy it. But the interest we take out, and then what we do is we're going to negotiate and buy that student debt from the banks and from the collection agencies at pennies on the dollar. And then all of our token holders, we're going to erase that debt immediately. So if you hold the token and we negotiate your debt, it's gone. And if you're not a token holder, we're going to give you the option to buy a token, buy our tokens, and contribute to the collective, because this is called collective tokenized bargaining. And then you could pay it forward, and then your debt's going to be erased too. And let me tell you how big this is, right? And here's my big reveal. All right, I'll get off the stage, but I'm going to give one more reveal. Because, again, the message is we need a futuristic education. We need to stop living in the past and making people debt slaves and education debt slaves. So how are we going to do it? How am I going to, a guy like me, going to negotiate billions of dollars in debt, right? How is a guy like me going to do it? I'm not going to do it. So I had to get a team of badass negotiators to do it. And that's my big reveal, is that now I got on my board of advisors, I not only have heads of IBM and leaders like Luke Kerner of investment, but now I got the world's, who's based right here in New York City, by the way, the world's #1 top negotiator, Herb Cohen, on the advisement team. If you've never heard of Herb Cohen, he's got a New York Times best-selling book, one of the 5 top best-selling books in business of all time, where you can negotiate anything. He's the guy the President of the United States called to negotiate 600 hostages in Peru. Other President of the United States called, remember, I don't know, some of you are old enough, maybe to understand when there was like 52 hostages in Iran at the embassy. It was Herb Cohen that negotiated them out of that embassy. Some of you might do business in China, and you wonder why. How is it that the banks like Chase Manhattan and all this stuff, how are they in China? Herb Cohen got them in China. And Herb Cohen is going to help us negotiate student debt. And we're going to take it back to the people, and we're going to take care of it now. We're going to negotiate with government. So you can go and find out more information on it. We're going to launch it on September 30th. You can get on the whitelist now. And I'm going to give each and every one of you 100 tokens. Trust me, I've got plenty of friends with cryptocurrency. I mean, I don't have any myself, so don't ask me.
What about private debt?
Private debt you can also do, but what we gotta do it one step at a time. So if we're talking about collective tokenized bargaining, we can do that with medical debt, we can do it with credit card debt. I'm focused on student debt because it's a $1.7 trillion elephant sitting in the room of the United States, and it's killing mothers, single moms, people trying to change their careers, people want to start a business, they say, oh, I want to invest in crypto, but I don't have any disposable income because I got to pay off my student debt every month. So I'm focused on that, but you can use the same principle to also negotiate private debt.
Private student loans, it works for that too.
That's all we're doing at first. And then
Awesome.
we're going to take care of that. We're going to zero that out. Private student loans, you get a master's degree, we're going to take care of it. And then after we take out all the private student loans, then we're going to attack the government. Okay, now we're not going to attack the government. We're going to work with the government. And we're going to buy even more. All right, so that's what we're talking about. And here's the best thing. Did I say that the token's going to go up as more people buy it and hold it, and it's tax deductible at the same time? I didn't say that, but it is. And it does, and it's not a security, so it's going to be a long-term project. And I tell you why it's going to be a long-term project, because you don't pay $1.7 trillion overnight. All right. I thank you very much for listening to me, and I know everybody wants to be back to that great music, so I appreciate the time and all the energy, all these beautiful people here.
Good initiative.
1 second. Can y'all give it up for him one more time, Dr. Josh Lang? So you said you had some swag to give.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna forget the swag.
Oh, yeah.
Free stuff I got, y'all. And second off, when you're giving out the swag, what I'm gonna do, if I can help you give it out, is if anybody has a question, or if anybody had a question to ask, we have time for one question. And yeah. So anyone have a question?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, let's see. You have a question?
Can that same initiative be done in MENA and Gary?
So the question was, can that same initiative be done in India and Asia?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. The student debt problems are not the same in the MENA region or in Europe. Most people don't pay for education unless it's in private because it's included in their tax base. But yeah, this will work for all educational costs, you see. And so, and I think the governments, for example, in India and MENA region, I think will be very interested in something like this. But as usual, they will look for a model that has been done in the United States first, and then they'll make their own great thing, or they'll come talk to me. I got some good friends over there, so maybe we can have a discussion.
I have a question. I have spent 20 years in education in that side, 2 decades, and if this initiative I really like it, and if you think you are okay, then I would want to talk about on that front.
Right. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, hi, thank you. So I work in banking. Thank you very much. So I'm just wondering, you said that, you said you're going to buy the debt for a penny. But I think, the debt is backed by the government, so probably you're not buying it for a penny, but you're buying it for $1. That's a very different topic, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. Is like, how's this guy gonna buy $1 million in debt for $1? But let me tell you something. We did it in 2014 with the Occupy movement. You go to the website and you can see the contract that we drafted in 2014. We bought $13 million dollars worth of student debt for $1. Well, how about this? You got $1 million. You're a banker.
Just want to have your homepage.
Oh yeah.
I can look at it.
Yeah, definitely. Let me answer the question though. You're a banker. Now imagine this. There's 1 million people a year defaulting on their student debt. 1 million people a year, and 1 million more people a year going in serious delinquency. That means default for life. That means no credit. That means a banker like you ain't gonna give them the time of day. But guess what? If the debt's canceled, then they're gonna get the time of day from the banks, right? And here's the problem. That's a lot of toxic student debt. I don't think the banks are gonna hold on to that. And I think they're gonna get rid of it. And I think Kirk Cohen is gonna help us do that. Let me give you the website. Though. Thanks, my friend. It's get-smart.net. So get-smart.net. It's like get and a little line smart.net.
You have a question? Okay.
I got the swag.
All right. Oh yeah. Are you giving out the swag?
Yeah. But
All
I
right.
got a quiz.
Okay. So I'll make time for this last question, and we'll move to our next. Let's hear your question.
Oh, yeah. We got a really smart, savvy crypto investor right here. She says, "You mentioned it's not a security." Because let's just face it, I've been in crypto since 2013, all right, in Bitcoin, and most of these projects are securities, and they're going to be regulated and seen as securities. But this one's not, because a security is when you give me money and you think, hey, he's going to take my money and he's going to invest it and he's going to give me something back. You expect a return. But with collective tokenized bargaining, you put the money in. You give the money to us, we invest it, but we don't give you the money back. You own the tokens, we take that return on investment, and then we buy debt with it, which is given in packages. We have to buy it in packages, and we don't know whose debt we're going to buy, right? And then we're just going to buy that debt and then gift it to you, gift it to our token holders there, because we own your debt. That is not giving you specifically a return on your investment. That's canceling your debt as a gift. And you just happen to be a token security. It's all about the community and the group. But the token value can go up as people need to stake the tokens for years. And so we can expect that to happen. But happen at the same time you have another people great question. And is everybody ready for the quiz? Because I got these 2 t-shirts to give away. They're awesome t-shirts that I just got from Ethereum people. First question is, what was the name of Paperboy Prince's song about education? What? Futuristic education. All right. Small. All right. And the other one, I said, how big is the burden? How big is the market that we're getting ready to serve? 2.7 trillion. All right. Oh, there you go, brother. Okay, thank you guys very much. If you guys want to talk to me, I'll be around for another half an hour. I gotta go next thing, but don't talk to me. All right. See you guys. It's Mark.
Thank you so much, Dr. Josh Lane. Can y'all give him some more applause? That was fantastic. This person is talking about trying to cancel student debt, which is major. I love that. Everybody who has a crypto project, an NFT project, raise your hand. I'm just curious. How many people here have some type of Web3 NFT project? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, dope. Well, definitely, folks, let's get connected. We have one last speaker, then we're about to bring up some performers, and I want to make sure you all connect, get each other's contact, all of that. Our last speaker is a mental stamina developer. Worked as a developer for Nike, Home Depot, the State Department, and helps a lot with onboarding folks into Web3. Has launched JoinCoin and now RAP.HIPHOP, a new project, and is a super dope artist as well. I've worked with him a bunch, just helped him manage me, and super exciting guy. So, without further ado, mental stamina. Let's make some noise for him.
Cool, thank you. I'll try to be concise and to the point. I guess first start off before my computer dies, which you can see right here, we're in the metaverse. So right now, this is a camera right here filming. We've been filming all night. And if you pull out your phones and you go to rap.hiphop, RAP.HIPHOP, on there you can watch the stream, or you can click to just hop in the metaverse too. So as you see, it's a bunch of people in there enjoying this event with us, but from other places in the world. And so this project, what I'm creating is called the Hip Hop Metaverse. So I'm an artist. I started rapping in 1998, but I also started coding in 1998 too. So I launched my first website in 2000. It was called LyricOlympics.com. Also got my first cease and desist from the Olympics. From there, my site just started getting bigger. I'm, 18 years old at the time, and it started getting expensive. So I relaunched it with the idea to kind of monetize it and build it for scalable growth. So I relaunched my site as Hip Hop Database. At that point, was getting millions of visitors a year back before even MySpace was out. So I started building hip hop communities, and I've been doing that for the last 20 years. And now the vision is to now connect that with the blockchain. And so right now in this project, RAP.HIPHOP, what we're doing is we're tokenizing every rapper and producer in the world. So it's opt-in right now. So if you're a rapper or a producer or a DJ, or if you know a friend, have them connect with us. If you go to RAP.HIPHOP, you can see a bunch of artists that we've already onboarded, including Paperboy Prince. And from here, the logic is that for each artist, the same way an artist can come to SoundCloud or YouTube, and that platform can position them to do more of what they're doing. The metaverse would be an aggregator of all of that. And so if you imagine, you may like, Cardi B, but is there a website that you can go to where you can see every Cardi B music video, all of her lyrics, all of her NFTs, her events, and then connect with her actual community and DAO if she has one. And so what I'm doing now is building the metaverse in the community, connecting the entire global hip hop community, tokenizing them into trading cards. So every rapper becomes Pokemon cards, and then gamifying that into a fantasy music league. So basically like fantasy football, but with all of the rappers that are everywhere. So you'll be able to get some NFTs, put together your team, and these cards will be playable so that you'll be able to take your NFTs and earn rewards over time. But it's also like it makes it the fun of digging in the crates, because let's say you just discovered whoever or Lil Yachty for the first time, and you find this rapper when they're new, and you get one of their trading cards, and then as this artist progresses, and also with the help of the community, the artist will progress. And so what I'm doing is a lot of things that are provided right now for artists, like technology and things like that, but there's a lot of gaps in our community. And so I'm going to build up regional hubs all over the world, digitally and face-to-face, and connect them with this NFT project. And so, yeah. Right now we're about to actually launch the NFT. So right now nothing is launched. We're just building up the community, building out the applications, and building out the project. And then we're going to release the hip hop token. And so right now there's no representation for hip hop on the blockchain. And with that said, there's very little representation of Black people on the blockchain. And so I know a lot of artists who have a lot of marketing power and a lot of charisma. And my vision is that I can use my tech skills and experience to connect them with the blockchain and then empower their communities with these. And then pull it all together with the hip hop metaverse, activate the hip hop community on the blockchain. So that's a brief description of the hip hop metaverse. You can also, like I said, go onto your phone, go to rap.hiphop. You can hop in the metaverse with us. Every Monday, we do a talk show. I'm also setting up the metaverse tour. So I'm going on, got 10 cities booked right now. So I'm going to be going city to city. I'll be rapping. And then at the same time, onboarding each community, their hip hop scenes, getting the local artists into the metaverse, and then sharing my NFTs with the world and building that concept and then replicating it out for every rapper alive. So thank you for listening. Yeah.
Y'all make some more noise for Mental Stamina and RAP.HIPHOP. Yeah! Okay, so real quick, we're about to do questions. If anybody has a question, we have a question there. Here, come on up so you can get your question on the mic.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's hear it.
You know, I love the story. Are you familiar with Uzo.ai? That is using Uzo.ai. It's an app that's using AI to basically contemplate all stream data from Spotify, SoundCloud, and it's really it actually exists. It's not active. So it's using real-time data because I'm a producer. Luckily, working with Joey Badass, National Rock, and other people. Apple, Suzanne, and this data I think behind what we're doing is really the solution. So I'm a great ambassador for Uzo.ai. I'd love to be for you. Yeah, we'll connect or find out about Uzo.ai. This data, I think, would actually be the driver of what the blockchain marketing is real time. Showcase it for both companies that want to take advantage of community artists. So we need to really connect